guys? Welcome back to Days of Darkness and welcome to my review of Prometheus. This one came out in 2012. Holy fuck, that was 10 years ago. And it is starring Noomi Rapace, Michael Fassbender, and Charlize Theron, and was directed by Ridley Scott. Holy shit, man. I hadn't seen this movie in... shit. It came out in 2012. I'd say 6-7 years, something around there. I remember fucking loving it. I remember really enjoying it, and this go around it was really no different. I noticed a couple things that I was kind of like, I'm not sure about that, and we'll get to the good and the bad sections in the spoiler section, but fuck, man, overall I was thoroughly impressed with this movie. First of all, we'll just get it out of the way here. Visually speaking, fuck, man. Like, I've always admired the Alien movies, even the rougher ones. Alien 3 and Resurrection. Really, Alien 3. Resurrection is just all around not great in any department, to say the least. But even Alien 3, I've always really admired the ability for I've always admired those movies for being very visually stunning, and this fucking movie takes it a notch further. It just looks fucking beautiful. Some of the wides in this movie are awesome. They're incredible. Visually, this movie's top fucking notch. So if you're looking for eye candy, yeah. But moving on, though, as far as everything else that's really doesn't include spoilers, the main reason I really admire this movie is the fact that you look at the previous 4 entries in the Alien franchise. Well, I'm not talking about AVP, I'm talking about the first 4 mainline Alien movies, even the shitty ones. I'm not going to say that those movies are, just the same, because fucking hell, they are not. They're all very unique in their own ways, which I like the first 2 for, and then the other 2 can go fuck themselves. But I still like the fact that they're all unique. But that being said, there are things about the Alien movies that you expect. And I really admire Prometheus for showing restraint and not giving us those things. People always bitch about fan service. People will always bitch about it until the end of time. Do I personally mind it? No. But, this is the origin story of the xenomorph. And the fact that, no spoilers, I'm saying that for myself this time to not say anything. But the fact that this movie holds back and focuses on that narrative, I love it. It's easily my favorite aspect of this film. I love how unique this movie feels. It still feels like an Alien movie with the dread and the terror, but it's not traditional in any sense of the word when it comes to this franchise. And I fucking really adore that. I've said it multiple times. I love when filmmakers take risks for multiple reasons. I love when filmmakers go out of their way to do something different, especially with a franchise like Alien. The fact that this movie was, in my mind, a success. I can't remember the box office. I'm sure it fucking did well. It's the first Alien movie we had in years. That didn't include Predators. But nah, man, the fact that this movie took such a risk and then came out so good, not only does that provide more potential for future Alien movies and where they could go, but it provides more, opportunity for Hollywood in general to explore different ideas and different avenues with certain established franchises. Overall, taking risk in a big franchise, in my opinion, does more good than harm. Is that always the case? No, but when it's executed like this, I think a good risk is a good thing. But yeah, man. So moving right along from that, let's go ahead and hop right into spoilers and let's talk about the good stuff about Prometheus. Spoilers ahead. You have been warned. All right, spoiler time. Your ass has been warned. I knew something was missing from that last review, and it was that line, so I figured I'd make good on it here. But anyways, as far as the good things are concerned, as I said before, I like that this film takes the risk and does its own thing. This is its own fucking movie, very much so in the Alien franchise, and it feels like it. You know, we get Wayland Corporation. I like the added detail of it just being Wayland and not Wayland Yutani. There was no merger yet, so I really, really like that. There's a little thing with the Wayland stuff that is kind of iffy for me. We'll get to that later. But I really enjoy that that's here and it's established like right out of the gate. I really, really like the fact that it maintains that alien, especially with Ridley Scott at the helm, but it maintains that original Alien feel. You have the crew, once again, much like the original Alien, they do not feel like super prim and proper, sci-fi characters. They feel very gritty. Some more so than others, but they all still feel very grounded in reality. I don't get the sense that any of them are exaggerated. They're all just either they're workers or they're, upper class boss characters, and it all just works very, very well, and it fits the Alien franchise very well. Something that AVP Requiem could learn from, but it's too late because the movie's out already. So hindsight is 2020. But the big thing that makes this one feel so unique compared to the first 4 entries is that there are no xenomorphs in this movie whatsoever. There is not a single traditional xenomorph in this entire fucking film. Do we get a pre-evolved alien xenomorph guy at the end? Yeah. Which I thought was really fucking cool. And I like that it's still, even to the very end, it shows that restraint. We're not getting xenomorphs yet. We have to get there, Just, I love the focus on evolution when it comes to this movie. I think it's so fucking rad. And some of the creatures we get in place of the xenomorph are fucking terrifying. The fucking the worm guy, let's talk about the engineers first. The fucking engineers look awesome. We get a peek at that first engineer in Alien, when they get to the planet and they're looking around and they see this big fucking alien with this weird looking. At the time, we were just kind of under the impression that wasn't the alien's face, but no, it's actually a helmet, and underneath is this weird, very pale, black-eyed humanoid creature that is fucking huge, and not to mention, fucking yoked. Holy shit, these things are buff as fuck. Oh my god. I know there is a Predator comic in which a Predator, who I believe is named Ahab, goes to fight an engineer and goes to hunt down an engineer, which is fucking, I need that in my life. But anyways, moving on. We're not talking about Predators. But I love the fucking engineers, man. They're basically the main alien of this movie. We see at the very beginning when the one drinks that fucking black sludge, essentially creating the human race, which was a really, really cool take. They just look fucking awesome, and there's so much mystery behind them, and I really, really enjoy that. But other creatures in this, I fucking really loved the little snake guy in that chamber they were in when they landed on the planet. And it's fucking swimming around when those two dudes get left behind in the storm, and it fucking just obliterates them. Just this little fucking snake guy. I get the sense that that was supposed to be a precursor to the face hugger, which, you know, we get another precursor to a face hugger, which we'll talk about here in a second. But I really liked the look of it, man. It was just, again, pre-evolution. You know, we're not at full face hugger mode. We're not, you know, it's funny that I have this here. We're not here yet, you know. We got to get there. But just fucking incredible, man. I really, really liked that little guy. I kind of wish we would have gotten more of him. And not only him, but the fucking... I don't know what I'm supposed to call it, you know? Well, number one, dude man, handsome scientist guy gets infected by David, which we will talk about David here in a second. But he gets infected with the black sludge shit and just that little fucking thing swimming around in his eye. Oh, God, so fucking freaky. But before that, he you know, he bangs his girlfriend, as one does. And then she is impregnated with, I guess, I just have to call it the hugger? Because it's not a face hugger. Fuck that. No. This thing is just a hugger. Because it gets to the point where it's fucking bigger than any human being. It's like, it's as big because the engineers are significantly bigger than, you know, humans. And at the end with the chase scene and all that shit, and we get the ending where this fucking monstrosity completely envelops this goddamn engineer. And it's like, holy shit! It's just a hugger. That's all it is. That's all I can call it. But I love the scene before that when she discovers that she is in fact pregnant from her boyfriend. However, this is not a human fucking child whatsoever. And I thought it was very interesting that David didn't want to tell her what it was that she was pregnant with. He wanted to keep it a secret from her in hopes that she would give birth to this fucking thing, which is demented. We'll get to David here in a second because he's easily the most interesting character in this movie. But yeah, man, I fucking really, really enjoyed / was horrified all over again by the scene of her getting into that surgical bay and just programming it to fucking just, you know, they just a little bit of numbing spray and then that thing just fucking cuts her open and spreads the wound and shit. I'm like, oh, God. Give me a fucking chest burst all day. But seeing that shit, I was like, oh, fuck. It's not a kill, but if it was, for whatever reason, it would be my kill of the film. Just a fucking incredible fucking scene there. But yeah, she ends up getting it out, and it's just this little fucking thing, and at the end, it's just grown to be this massive fucking creature. Beautiful design of that thing, too. It's just so fucking ugly looking. And not only the creatures, but a lot of the human characters in this are really well done. I think they all, for the most part, there are a couple characters that are just kind of there to be there. But one character that really impressed me was, first of all, Idris Elba's character, the captain, I thought was a very, very charming character. You know, Idris Elba's fucking awesome in everything he's in for the most part. I really, really enjoy his work. But I really enjoyed Charlize Theron's character. And the fact that we discover later on that, you know, she's Waylon's daughter, which we gotta fucking get into this whole Waylon situation because I don't know what the fuck's going on. But yeah, man, and just her almost jealousy of David and how, I don't know, she seems very bitter and she lets that bitterness drive her to be more of a success to impress her dad, I'm assuming. But overall, I think she's fucking incredible in this movie. The two main scientist characters also are fucking really, really well done, really well performed as well. But easily the person who steals the fucking show is David. To me, the most compelling character in this movie, like by far. I think his arc, if you even want to call it that, is so fucking unique and so cool. Um, I love the fact that you can't. And granted, does he do fucked up shit in this movie? Oh hell yeah! But you really can't call him evil. At least I can't. And I'll explain why. Obviously, if you look at it from a human morale standpoint, or moral, I should say, standpoint, yeah, he's a piece of shit. Like, there's no doubt. Thing is, though, he's not a human. He's an android. He doesn't have human emotions, and he is so fascinated with natural life, and he is so, into the idea of discovering more and learning. And like we see it in the beginning, he's just absorbing so much information in the 2 years that he's alone on the ship, the Prometheus. He is so fucking dead set on the pursuit of knowledge and the pursuit of life, and he's so obsessed with the soul. He doesn't, something that he can never possess. Just a fucking brilliantly written character, brilliantly performed by Michael Fassbender. Just a great character, man. I really, really enjoyed his stuff in this movie. He has a great arc. I know he is in Prometheus. I know he is in Covenant as well. I don't. I've seen Covenant one time, and I will obviously be watching it next week for the review. Very curious to see how they handle that David character, because from what I remember, I wasn't very thrilled with it. But we'll have to see for next time. But yeah, man, that basically wraps it up for the good stuff in this movie. I think this movie just does a very fantastic job of, like I said, feeling like an alien film without, just throwing fan service in your face constantly. And I just am holding this face hugger. Without throwing it in your face, just one after the other, after the other, after the other. I really, really like the fact that at the end of the day, this is its own sci-fi horror film within the Alien universe, exploring the origin of the xenomorph. I just think it's fucking rad. That being said, there are some little things about this movie that I'm not super thrilled with. Does it ruin the movie for me? Fuck no. Go out and watch this. It's awesome. But these are the things that kind of stuck out to me. Let's get to the bad shit stuff. Whatever. All right, and with the good must come the bad. It's funny because I say I like the fact that this focuses on being its own film, but there's one aspect that I think they kind of flopped on a little bit. It's, when I first watched this, I didn't even gather this fact, but after I kind of realized, I'm like, oh shit, they're not on the same planet that they land on in Alien. And it's a conscious decision. I'm not gonna act like it ruins the movie for me, but I really would have liked it to be more of an isolated incident on this one planet that, years and years later, a group of, scientists on the Nostromo happen to land upon, and then all hell breaks loose and you have Alien. I really would have liked this movie to take place on the original LV planet. No, I don't remember the numbers for it. Sorry, I'm not a real nerd. Sue me. But I did a little bit of reading, and it's supposed to be in the same star system as the original planet. but it's not the original planet. And I feel like I would have liked my alien origin story to be a little more isolated. You know, have it all take place on that same planet with the engineers and all that shit. Because it appears to me like the events that happened trillions of years ago with the origin of humankind, it seems like that all happened on this planet that it's in, Prometheus. So I think it would have been nice to connect this movie with the original Alien. That's just where I'm coming from. That's just me personally. Again, does it ruin anything? No. But it's just a little nitpick I have. The other one, which this is like getting super nerdy and shit, but I wouldn't say so though, because it is a major character in the film, and that is Wayland himself. What the fuck is Wayland? Who is the real Wayland? I'm so confused. Maybe I'm just a dumb fuck. I don't know. But from what I've seen all of these movies multiple times, except for Covenant, which I don't even think Wayland's has anything to do with that one. But who is Charles Bishop Wayland? Or I think he's named something different in this movie, if I'm not mistaken. But like, okay, so we get in Aliens, we get the Wayland android. That's not actually Wayland. I get it. Then in Alien 3, we get the real Wayland at the end, and he's trying to get Ripley to come with him so they can extract the alien queen and all that fucking shit. And she, you know, she sacrifices herself, yada, yada, yada. We don't really hear from him again after that. Then in AVP, which is non-canonical, in my view, I've heard some people say that it is canonical. I don't really know how you make that connection, especially with Prometheus now being out. I don't understand how that's feasible, but whatever. But yeah, man, I don't really understand how Wayland is in those movies. Again, it's non-canonical. It really doesn't fucking matter. I can oversee it. My main issue, though, is the fact that we have Wayland in this fucking movie who dies. Like, straight up fucking dies in this movie. Like, he gets obliterated by a fucking engineer. But then he's alive in Alien 3. So, someone clear it up for me. Is it a different Wayland? Is it like Wayland Jr.? I don't fucking know, dude. Like, it seems to me like he had one kid, and that was Charlize Theron's character, because we don't really hear about any other children that he had. So, is Alien 3 and Resurrection just not canon anymore? I would be fine with that. But I'm trying to figure out what's going on here, man. I'm trying to put the pieces together, and the math ain't mathin', man. So tell me what's what. I guess in my own head canon, I'll just reason it as Alien 3 and Resurrection just aren't canon, which they weren't for me in the first place anyways. So no harm, no foul. But it is weird that he's here. But, you know, that's really all I have to say as far as bad is concerned in this movie. I fucking really enjoyed this one, man. I think Prometheus is a fantastic companion piece to the original two Alien movies. And if you're gonna marathon these flicks, I would say prop it. Blah, 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 blah. I would say watch Alien, watch Aliens. I'd say pop in Prometheus afterwards. Say that 5 times fast. Pop in Prometheus. Pop in. Actually, it's not that hard. But yeah, whatever. You get what I'm saying. Prometheus fucking rules, man. 100% check this one out. That'll do it for the review portion of the video. But you know what we gotta do now, baby. We gotta get into the blood, the guts, and the gory bits. We gotta get into my Kill the Film. Stick around. Almost fucked that up. Alright, Kill the Film time, baby. Let's get right to it. Some really, really good fucking deaths in this movie, man. I really enjoyed it. It's not a splatterfest or anything like that, but it still maintains the same level of violence we get in the first two Alien movies. Very brutal, gross, slimy fucking shit, and I love it. What can I say? Starting with the sacrifice at the very beginning of the film, with that engineer drinking that fucking sludge, and his body just starts to melt and deteriorate. It's fucking disgusting. Ends up falling into the water, down the waterfall and into the body of water. And you just see the Prometheus title card come up as his head, like, fucking just kind of crumples off of his body and shit. You're like, oh, fuck! Really, really brutal imagery there, and I love it. Sets the tone for this movie. It was really, really cool to see that. Speaking of engineer deaths, it's funny that besides my kill of the film, all of my honorable mentions are engineer deaths. They get some good ones in this movie. When they discovered I almost said alien. When they discovered the engineer, the decapitated engineer, they take the head and they barely, get it onto the ship because of that big old storm. But they get it on there and they fucking crack it open and they're researching it, and there's all this, like, I don't want to say foliage, but like there's this shit kind of just moving around on his head, and they stick this needle in to kind of bring it back to life in a certain way. And all of a sudden they can't, like, reverse it, and this shit starts mutating and, like, pulsing his head, and his head starts bleeding and shit. And they're able to get it into the fucking containment just in time. And you just see this fucking severed engineer head just... awesome, a great practical effect, too. Just the actual explosion itself. Killer. Loved it. Is it a kill? I'd say so. I know it's reanimated, but fuck it. Yeah. But yeah, man, that was really cool. And obviously at the very end, when that big fucking hugger gimmick just swallows that engineer whole, and then, latches itself off of him. Is that a term? Latches itself off? It gets off the fucking engineer, and all of a sudden you start seeing this thing writhe around the engineer. And then we get the baby pre-evolved Xeno popping out of this guy, and, like, looks kind of cute for a second, It's kind of looking around. I maybe detected eyeballs. I'm not sure. I don't think so, though, given when it shows it in the light. But for a second there, I'm like, does that thing have fucking eyes? But it doesn't, thankfully. But yeah, man, this thing fucking opens its mouth and you get that pre-evolved inner mouth that's just kind of its gums and shit. It's like, oh, fuck. You can tell this guy is not fully baked, but he still looks fucking rad. Really nice kill there. But my kill of the film actually goes to a human character. That's right, the engineers definitely stole the show as far as deaths are concerned. But I fucking gotta give it to the dumb ass who tried to pet this alien snake looking thing and got fucked up for it. This guy's just such a dumb fuck. I don't like when people poo-poo, like, horror movie logic and shit. Like, oh, you're so dumb. I usually don't like that shit, especially in, like, slasher films and stuff like that. But I found myself doing that here. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? And this guy's a scientist, and you see this thing fucking cocked up like a goddamn cobra, and you're just like, oh, what's up, buddy? You're a dumb fuck. And I do not feel bad for you for what's about to happen. And sure enough, this thing fucking wraps itself around this guy's arm. Great performance by this actor, by the way. The fact that he's, like, terrified, and he's literally, like, vocalizing what's happening to him. It could come off very cheesy, but he was very careful with the performance, and I think it fucking worked beautifully. He's like, this thing is like, it's getting tighter, and then he starts panicking. He's like, it's breaking my arm, and then sure enough, pop! Fucking bone sticking out, suit is exposed, And this fucking thing, you know, he's like, all right, cut it off, cut it off. You know, and this other dude that's with him, this angry fucker, is like trying to cut it off. Sure enough, acid blood to that dude's helmet. His face like molds into the helmet. Great little side kill there, but let's get to the main course. This thing regenerates, which was really interesting to see. I wish they kind of would have explored that a little more. I don't know where they would have, but whatever. But yeah, this thing fucking regrows its head and then crawls up into this dude's fucking suit and just starts swimming around and goes right into his fucking mouth, seemingly killing him pretty instantly. And then it's kind of just swimming around in there, and it actually pops back out later. But yeah, man, fucking great kill, amazing shit. I watched this one with my fiance, and it fucking terrified her. Which, you know, I'm not gonna say I like scaring my fiance, but I was like, yeah, this movie's doing its job. But yeah, man, overall, great kill, great fucking movie. Go out of your way to check it out. Next time on Days of Darkness, we are going to be reviewing Alien Covenant, and that will do it for the Alien films in this franchise, with one more Predator film, which we will talk about another time. But until then, be looking forward to the Alien Covenant review. Be looking forward to a little bonus shit maybe somewhere in between there. I don't know. But nonetheless, man, thank you all for stopping by as always. Thank you for being part of the DoD family. Thank you for supporting the dream. You guys fucking rock. And yeah, man, I'm going to stop rambling. Take care of each other and keep watching horror. All right, guys. Have a good day.